Welcome to your personalized deep dive. We're going to be looking at your notes on maximizing consumption benefits, productive hobbies, and happiness production.
Yeah.
You've got some really great questions about turning your passions for music and gaming into something more well-productive. And of course, the age-old question, can we actually measure happiness?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating how you've connected all of these concepts.
Right.
We're going to be exploring research on flow states,
Okay.
the psychology of choice,
Interesting.
and even how ancient Eastern philosophy intersects with modern Western thinking on these topics.
Okay, so let's unpack this phrase from your notes. Maximizing consumption benefits.
Okay.
Sounds kind of technical.
Uh-huh.
What are we really talking about here?
Yeah.
Is it just about squeezing the most pleasure out of every experience?
Right.
Or is there something deeper going on?
I think you're definitely onto something with that question.
Yeah.
I think it goes beyond simple pleasure and touches on this idea of finding activities that fully engage you on multiple levels.
Okay.
Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a renowned psychologist, called these autotelic activities things we do for their inherent value, not just for some external reward.
Ah, so it's about the journey, not just the destination.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned this idea that productive hobbies can lead to greater happiness.
Yeah.
What's the connection there?
So research shows that active engagement and skill development are essential for experiencing flow, which in turn is strongly linked to happiness.
Yeah.
So yes, there is a strong argument to be made that productive hobbies can contribute to overall well-being.
So it's not just about keeping busy.
Right.
It's about how we engage with those activities.
I think so.
That reminds me of a story from ancient China about Lord Wenhu's cook.
Okay.
He found a state of flow in the meticulous preparation of meals,
Interesting.
proving that any activity,
Right.
even daily chores,
Yeah.
can become a source of flow with the right mindset.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's about finding the right approach and cultivating that sense of deep engagement, regardless of the specific activity.
That's incredibly inspiring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're specifically interested in turning your love of music and gaming into more productive hobbies. Do you have any initial thoughts on how you might do that?
Absolutely. So when it comes to music, there's a whole world of possibilities, composing, performing, teaching, even exploring the technical side, like building instruments or audio engineering.
Interesting.
You could even delve into music journalism.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And for gaming,
Right.
there's game design, modding, competitive gaming,
Sure.
or even creating content,
Yeah.
like
Right.
board game reviews.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The key is to pinpoint the aspect that truly resonates with you
Yeah.
and offers the perfect balance of challenge and skill.
Okay.
It has to be something that sparks your passion
Right.
and pushes you to grow.
So you also brought up a challenge,
Right.
how to navigate the overwhelming sea of choices when shopping without losing yourself in the process.
Yeah.
It's like stepping into a supermarket with a million different types of jam and walking out empty-handed because you just can't decide.
I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
You've hit upon what's known as the paradox of choice.
Okay.
Barry Schwartz, a researcher in this area, has shown that too many options can lead to decreased happiness and increased anxiety.
Really?
Studies have even shown that consumers are more likely to buy jam when presented with 6 varieties compared to 24.
Wow.
It's counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but sometimes less is more.
So how do we apply this to the realm of hobbies? Could having too many potential productive hobbies actually make it harder to choose and commit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We can experience the same decision paralysis
Yeah.
when faced with an abundance of appealing hobbies.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot between exploration and commitment.
Now, you've raised a really big question that philosophers have been grappling with for centuries. Can we actually quantify happiness?
Yeah.
It's a fascinating concept, and I know researchers are trying to measure it using things like the satisfaction with life scale.
Yeah, there's a lot of different scales and measurements out there.
Yeah.
While happiness is undoubtedly complex and subjective, research can reveal patterns and identify factors that contribute to well-being.
Interesting.
Even if we can't assign a precise numerical value to happiness, we can still learn a lot about what influences it.
Makes sense. It's like trying to measure love or creativity.
Yeah.
We can't put a definitive number on it.
Yeah.
But we can still study the elements that contribute to it.
Exactly.
And this leads to another question you posed. Is managing consumption just capitalist happiness production?
Mm-hmm.
It's a provocative thought that challenges us to examine how our economic system shapes our understanding of happiness.
Right.
So are we being conditioned to seek fulfillment through material goods and constant consumption?
Yeah.
Is it all just a clever marketing ploy to keep us on the hedonic treadmill?
The hedonic treadmill is a really powerful concept. It describes our tendency to adapt to positive experiences and constantly seek new ones to maintain our happiness levels.
Yeah.
It's like chasing a moving target.
Yeah.
We might get temporary boosts, but we always end up back where we started.
So how do we break free from this cycle?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Could shifting our focus from consumption to creation be the key?
That's a compelling idea. By engaging in productive hobbies that allow us to create, build, and develop skills, we might tap into a more enduring sense of fulfillment.
It's about finding activities that feed our souls, not just our bank accounts.
Right.
But how do we even begin to identify those hobbies?
Yeah.
The ones that will truly spark that elusive flow state.
It's a process of exploration, trial and error, and most importantly, paying close attention to what truly captures your attention. What activities do you find yourself getting lost in?
Right.
What makes you lose track of time?
It's about listening to that inner voice that whispers, this is it. This is what I was meant to do.
Exactly.
But what about the impact of those hobbies on our sense of self? How do they shape who we become?
That's where it gets really interesting. Hobbies are more than just leisure activities. They're opportunities for skill development, identity exploration, and even personal growth.
Interesting.
They can teach us valuable lessons that extend far beyond the activity itself.
Like someone who takes up rock climbing.
Right.
And not only develops physical strength, but also learns about perseverance, risk management, and trust.
Exactly.
These qualities can then transfer to other areas of their life, shaping their character and worldview.
Absolutely. Hobbies can be powerful tools for self-transformation, helping us develop new skills, uncover hidden talents, and build confidence. They allow us to explore different aspects of ourselves and discover new passions.
It's like they're tiny seeds that we plant within ourselves.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of approaching hobbies with intention and mindfulness. It's not just about filling our free time. It's about actively shaping our experiences. And cultivating a life that's rich in meaning and purpose.
This brings us back to your idea of happiness production technology. Is it possible to create a sort of system or framework for cultivating happiness? Can we hack the system, so to speak?
It's a fascinating concept. While there's no magic formula for guaranteed happiness, there are certainly practices and mindsets that can help us cultivate a more fulfilling and joyful life.
Okay, so it's less about finding a one-size-fits-all solution and more about creating a personalized toolkit for happiness.
Exactly. It's about identifying the activities, mindsets, and connections that bring you joy. Purpose and a sense of flow, and then intentionally incorporating those elements into your life.
So instead of just passively consuming entertainment, we can choose to actively create our own experiences, build meaningful connections, and develop skills that bring us joy and purpose.
That's a powerful shift in perspective.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
We've explored the concept of maximizing consumption benefits, the link between productive hobbies and happiness, and the paradoxical nature of choice. We've also delved into the intriguing questions of quantifying happiness and the potential for creating a happiness production technology through mindful engagement with our hobbies.
I think there's a lot of potential there. In
the next part of our deep dive, we'll continue to explore these ideas in more detail, focusing on the practical steps you can take to cultivate more flow, meaning, and joy in your life.
I look forward to it.
Welcome back to your deep dive. In the first part, we unpacked a lot.
We did.
From maximizing consumption benefits to the intriguing possibility of creating a happiness production technology, ready to keep exploring.
Absolutely. And I'm especially excited to delve deeper into this concept of flow. Okay.
As it connects so beautifully with your pursuit of productive hobbies.
Yes. It's almost like a secret ingredient for a more fulfilling life. But how do we actually find that sweet spot of flow?
Yeah,
It seems a bit elusive,
it can be.
like catching lightning in a bottle.
You're right. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
Remember how 6 Cent Mahali emphasized the balance between challenge and skill? Too little challenge and we get bored.
Right.
Too much and we get anxious.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
So it's about knowing our limits,
I think so.
but also pushing beyond them just enough to stay engaged.
Yeah,
Sort of like a personalized growth curve for happiness.
that's a fantastic way to put it.
Okay.
And it requires a willingness to experiment, try new things,
Yeah.
and embrace the possibility of failure.
That makes me wonder if part of this happiness production technology
Yeah,
might be about cultivating a mindset that welcomes challenge
I think you're right.
and doesn't shy away from setbacks. You're spot on. If we're too afraid of failing,
Right.
we might never push ourselves hard enough to reach those flow states.
Okay.
And without those challenges, we miss out on the incredible satisfaction that comes with mastering a new skill or accomplishing a difficult goal.
It's like that saying.
Yeah.
Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
We need a bit of rough water
Yeah.
to truly test our abilities and grow.
Right.
Okay, so embracing challenge is key. But with so many potential productive hobbies out there,
Right.
how do we even begin to narrow it down
Yeah.
and choose something that's right for us?
Remember the paradox of choice we talked about? It applies to hobbies too.
Okay.
Instead of getting overwhelmed by all the options,
Yeah.
focus on your current interests and passions.
Right.
What are you naturally drawn to? What activities make you lose track of time?
So it's about paying attention to those moments where you feel completely absorbed in something, where the outside world fades away and it's just you and the activity.
Precisely. Those are often clues pointing you
Yeah.
towards a hobby that could bring you immense joy and fulfillment.
And it's okay to experiment and try different things, right?
Absolutely.
We don't have to commit to something for life
Right.
just because we tried it once.
Exactly. Think of it as a journey of exploration.
Well,
You might start with one hobby and realize it's not quite the right fit.
right.
But that exploration might lead you to something
Yeah.
even better suited to your personality and interests.
It's about staying curious,
Right.
open to new experiences,
Yeah.
and trusting the process.
I agree.
Okay, so we've talked about finding flow, embracing challenges, and
Yeah.
choosing hobbies that resonate with us.
Yeah.
But what about the impact of those hobbies on our overall well-being? You've used this fascinating term in your notes, happiness production technology. Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. It's a way of thinking about how we can actively cultivate happiness in our lives.
Okay.
It's not about finding a magic formula
Yeah.
or a quick fix,
Right.
but rather about creating a set of practices, habits, and mindsets that support our well-being.
So instead of just hoping that happiness will magically appear,
Yeah.
we can intentionally design our lives to include elements that nurture
Right.
joy,
Right.
meaning,
Yeah.
and fulfillment.
Exactly. Think of it as building a personal toolkit for happiness.
Okay.
And productive hobbies can be a powerful tool in that kit.
Okay, so how do productive hobbies fit into this happiness production technology? What makes them so special?
Productive hobbies offer a unique combination of benefits that can significantly boost our happiness levels.
Like what?
They provide opportunities for creativity, skill development, and a sense of accomplishment. Right.
They challenge us to grow,
Yeah.
learn, and expand our horizon.
And they often connect us with like-minded people,
Absolutely.
fostering a sense of community and belonging.
Yeah.
So it's not just about keeping ourselves busy. It's
Yes.
about engaging in activities that nourish our minds,
Yeah.
bodies, and souls.
I love that.
It's about investing in our own growth and well-being.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And it ties back to the idea of maximizing consumption benefits.
Right.
It's about choosing experiences that provide lasting value, enrich our lives,
Yeah.
and contribute to our overall happiness.
It's like shifting from a mindset of scarcity
Right.
to a mindset of abundance,
Yeah.
focusing on experiences that nourish us rather than just consume our time and energy.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
It allows us to take ownership of our happiness
Yeah.
and actively create a life that aligns with our values and aspirations. Now, you also brought up a really important question about the potential downsides of this pursuit of happiness. You asked, is managing consumption just another form of capitalist happiness production?
Right.
It's a valid concern.
It is.
Are we being conditioned to find fulfillment through achievement and material possessions?
It's a crucial question to consider.
Right.
The danger is that we get caught in a cycle of constantly striving for more, never feeling truly satisfied with what we have.
Okay.
But I believe there's a way to navigate this challenge mindfully.
So how do we strike a balance between pursuing our passions and avoiding the trap of the hedonic treadmill?
By focusing on the intrinsic rewards of our hobbies, the joy of creation, the satisfaction of mastery, the connection with a community, we can step off that treadmill and find a more grounded sense of fulfillment.
So it's about shifting our focus from external validation to internal satisfaction, from consuming to creating, from chasing happiness to cultivating it.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where our passions align with our values and contribute to a life that feels both meaningful and fulfilling.
Now, circling back to the idea of flow.
Okay.
How do we know when we've found an activity that truly allows us to enter that state of complete absorption? What are the signs?
There are several key indicators of flow. You might notice a sense of intense focus and concentration, a feeling of timelessness, and a deep sense of enjoyment and satisfaction. You might even experience a loss of self-consciousness where you become completely immersed in the activity.
It's like everything else fades away and you're fully present in that moment, completely engaged with the task at hand.
Precisely. It's a state of effortless action where you're fully in sync with the activity and everything just seems to flow.
That sounds incredible.
It is pretty great.
But it also sounds a bit, well, mystical.
Sure.
Can anyone achieve this state of flow? Or is it reserved for certain types of people?
Csikszentmihalyi believed that flow is accessible to everyone, regardless of their background, skills, or interests. It's about finding the right activity and cultivating the right mindset.
So it's not about being a certain type of person. It's about finding the right activity that sparks your passion and provides the right level of challenge. And then approaching that activity with an open mind, a willingness to experiment, and a focus on the process rather than the outcome.
That's beautifully put, and I think it perfectly captures the essence of this happiness production technology we've been discussing.
It's about taking ownership of our happiness and intentionally designing our lives to include elements that support our well-being, from choosing hobbies that spark joy and challenge us, to cultivating a mindset that embraces growth and welcomes new experiences.
It's about creating a life that's not just happy, but also meaningful, purposeful, and aligned with our deepest values and aspirations.
And as we wrap up this second part of our deep dive, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on a concept from your notes. You wrote, hobbies as self-transformation. What do you mean by that?
I'm glad you brought that up. It's a fascinating area to explore. Hobbies aren't just about leisure and entertainment. They can be powerful catalysts for personal growth and self-discovery.
So they're not just activities we do in our spare time. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and evolve as individuals.
Exactly. Think about it. When you engage in a hobby, you're constantly learning new skills, challenging your limits, and expanding your horizons. This process can have a profound impact on your sense of self, your confidence, and even your worldview.
So how exactly do hobbies contribute to this process of self-transformation? What are the mechanisms at play?
Well, first and foremost, hobbies provide a safe and structured environment for experimentation and growth. They allow us to try new things, make mistakes, and learn from our experiences without fear of judgment or serious consequences.
It's like a playground for personal development. Where we can explore different aspects of ourselves, push our boundaries, and discover hidden talents.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And as we develop new skills and master new challenges, our confidence grows. And we start to see ourselves in a new light.
It's like unlocking new levels in a video game. Each level bringing us closer to our full potential.
Exactly. And as our confidence grows, we're more likely to take risks. Step outside our comfort zones and embrace new challenges in other areas of our lives.
So the skills and mindset we develop through our hobbies can spill over into our work relationships and overall approach to life.
Absolutely. Hobbies can be transformative experiences that shape not only our skills and knowledge, but also our character values and outlook on life.
That's incredibly inspiring. It suggests that hobbies aren't just about having fun or filling our free time. They're about investing in our personal growth and becoming the best versions of ourselves.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another important aspect of hobbies and self-transformation. The development of self-awareness.
Oh, tell me more. How do hobbies foster self-awareness?
When you engage in a hobby, you're constantly receiving feedback about your strengths, weaknesses, preferences, and values. You learn what you enjoy, what you're good at, and what challenges you. This process of self-reflection and discovery can be incredibly valuable for personal growth.
So it's not just about the activity itself. It's about the insights we gain about ourselves through the process of engaging with that activity.
Precisely. Hobbies can act as mirrors, reflecting back to us our passions, talents, and areas for growth. They can help us understand our motivations, our values, and what truly makes us tick.
It's like having a personal coach. It's constantly guiding us towards self-discovery and fulfillment.
That's a great way to think about it. And the more self-aware we become, the better equipped we are to make choices that align with our authentic selves and create a life that feels truly fulfilling.
So as we wrap up this second part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listener with a key takeaway. Hobbies aren't just about leisure or entertainment. They're powerful tools for self-transformation, growth, and discovery.
Absolutely.
By approaching our hobbies with intention and mindfulness, we can unlock hidden talents, cultivate new skills, develop self-awareness, and create a life that's rich in meaning, purpose, and joy.
I agree.
And in the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some practical steps you can take to choose hobbies that align with your values and aspirations and incorporate them into your life in a way that supports your overall well-being.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the final part of your deep dive. We've been exploring this idea of happiness production technology, taking charge of our well-being through productive hobbies, mindful consumption, and a dash of flow.
I like that.
Ready for the grand finale?
Absolutely. And in this last part, let's get practical. We've talked a lot about the why of productive hobbies. Now let's dive into the how.
Okay, you got it. So let's say someone's totally on board with this idea. They want to find those flow-inducing, self-transforming hobbies. Where do they even start?
It's simpler than you might think. First, tap into that inner child. What were you naturally drawn to as a kid? What did you lose yourself in for hours? Those early passions can offer valuable clues about your inherent interests.
It's like revisiting those moments of pure, unadulterated joy before life got all complicated.
Exactly. Then think about your current skills and knowledge. What are you good at? What do you enjoy learning about? The goal is to find that sweet spot where your natural inclinations intersect with your existing abilities.
So if someone has always loved music, but never learned an instrument, maybe they explore online tutorials. Or join a local choir.
Perfect example. Or if someone has always been fascinated by history, but never had the time to delve deeper, maybe they start a podcast, join a historical society, or even try their hand at historical fiction writing.
So it's about finding ways to bridge the gap between our passions and our skills. Creating pathways for exploration and growth.
I agree.
But what if someone feels stuck? What if they don't feel particularly passionate about anything?
That's where a little experimentation comes in. Try new things. Sign up for a workshop. Take a class. attend a local event,
Right.
or volunteer for a cause you care about. You never know what might spark your interest.
It's like being a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Except instead of sweets, we're sampling experiences.
Right.
And as we explore, how do we know if we've found a hobby that's truly worth pursuing? Is it all about feeling that elusive flow state?
Flow is definitely a great indicator, but it's not the only one.
Right.
Pay attention to how you feel when you engage in a particular activity.
Yeah.
Does it energize you or drain you?
Right.
Does it make you feel excited, curious,
Yeah.
and eager to learn more?
It's like listening to those subtle cues from your mind and body. Do you feel a sense of expansion or contraction?
Precisely. And don't be afraid to walk away from something that's not a good fit.
Okay.
It's okay to experiment and change course if something doesn't resonate with you.
It's about honoring our own needs and preferences.
Right.
Not forcing ourselves to stick with something.
Yeah.
Just because we think we should enjoy it.
Exactly.
But what about the practicalities? Life is busy.
I know.
How do we make time for hobbies when we're juggling work, family, and all those other responsibilities?
That's a common challenge.
Right.
But it's all about prioritizing what's important to you.
Okay.
Start small. Carve out just 15 or 30 minutes a day to dedicate to your hobby.
It's like finding those little pockets of time during your commute while waiting for an appointment.
Yeah.
Or even before bed.
Exactly. And as you start experiencing the benefits of your hobby, the joy, the relaxation, the sense of accomplishment, you'll naturally find more time and energy to devote to it.
It's like that saying, if you want something done, ask a busy person.
Right.
The busier we are, the more efficient we become at managing our time.
I think so.
Now, we've talked a lot about individual hobbies. But could there also be a social or communal aspect to this happiness production technology?
Absolutely. Connecting with others who share your interests is a fantastic way to deepen your engagement, learn from each other, and build a sense of belonging.
So join a book club, a hiking group, a coding community, or even just find a friend who's willing to try something new with you.
Exactly. Sharing your passion with others can amplify the joy, the learning, and the overall sense of fulfillment.
It's like building a little ecosystem of support and inspiration, where everyone benefits from the collective energy and enthusiasm.
I like that.
Now, circling back to the bigger picture, we've been discussing these ideas within the context of maximizing consumption benefits.
Right.
How does this all tie back to the way we approach our daily lives and choices?
It's about shifting our mindset
Okay.
from mindless consumption
Yeah.
to mindful engagement. It's about being more intentional with our time, energy, and resources.
Okay.
Choosing experiences that truly nourish us and contribute to our well-being.
So it's not about depriving ourselves
Yeah.
or living like monks. It's about making choices that align with our values and bring us closer to the lives we want to live.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, self-reflection.
Okay.
It's not enough to just do these things.
Right.
We need to pay attention to how they make us feel.
That inner feedback loop is essential.
It is.
We need to check in with ourselves regularly and ask, is this activity still bringing me joy?
Yeah.
Is it pushing me to grow? Is it helping me become the person I want to be?
Those are powerful questions
Yeah.
to guide our choices and help us stay on track.
Right.
It's about creating a life that's not just full of activities, but full of meaning and purpose.
And maybe, just maybe, that mindful approach to our hobbies, our consumption, and our overall life choices can lead us to a deeper sense of happiness and fulfillment.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To create a life that feels both joyful and meaningful, a life that reflects our truest selves and allows us to thrive.
And on that inspiring note,
Right?
we've reached the end of your deep dive.
It has been a journey.
We've explored a lot of ground, from maximizing consumption benefits to the transformative power of hobbies, from the elusive flow state to the idea of happiness production technology.
It's been an incredible journey.
It has.
And I hope these insights have sparked your curiosity and inspired you to take action.
Remember, it's not about finding the perfect hobby
Right.
or achieving some unattainable level of happiness. It's about exploring, experimenting, and finding what truly works for you.
It's about embracing the journey of self-discovery and growth.
Yes.
One mindful choice at a time.
So here's a final challenge for you. This week, choose one new hobby that sparks your interest.
Okay.
Something that involves creation, connection, or personal growth.
Right.
Dive in with an open mind. Pay attention to how it makes you feel and see where this new adventure takes you.
Sounds good.
Who knows? You might just discover a hidden passion
Right.
or unlock a new level of joy and fulfillment in your life.
I hope so.